I use Lord of the Rings as an example a lot because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and I think it's actually been unfortunate that I think Tolkien's work has kind of been used by a lot of people to defend maybe the importance of having super, super complex worlds that are really fleshed out. Tolkien was really nerdy about that stuff, and he wrote entire languages and came up with whole, genealogies and stuff like that. However, you need to think about the fact that if you started reading the Silmarillion before you read The Hobbit, you would never have gotten through it. like if you started with the Silmarillion, he wouldn't have sold a single copy of the other books, right? And even The Hobbit has way less world building, than The Hobbit is way easier accessible than even Lord of the Rings is.
Super basic.
And when you look at the way that Lord of the Rings starts, right? Again, we see the world through the eyes of a character, right? We have a character who's just very ignorant to what's going on around them. They are just given little pieces of knowledge as it goes larger and larger and larger. And you have a map. I think a map is lovely. Players love to see a map because it gives them some sense of the larger thing, and there's just excitement. It's just there's woods over there, there's forests over there, there's a ruin over there. There's that is cool, but you don't want to tell the players what all that stuff is. It's going to take all the magic out of it, right? You look at a map at the beginning of if you're reading Fellowship of the Ring and the maps in the first 2 pages, and you look at it and then you're like, oh my God, you start reading and you're like, they're just way up here in this little Shire thing. And you're like, I wonder what's all the way down there, I wonder what Erebor is. And it's like, you're going to have to read to find out. The adventure begins and they meet characters along the way and they get introduced to this larger world. And by the end, you're able to kind of speak to the interpolitical conflicts of all these different nations. But I mean, that's because the characters have gone on these big journeys and they've met NPCs that are from each of those areas and, have gone through these conflicts and stuff.